What's up, humans? How's it hanging? I'm the Nerdy Beard, and today we are playing World of Warplanes. Having an absolute blast playing this, I have to say. I didn't get a chance to play Wargaming's first effort of a Warplanes game, but I've heard it wasn't really well received. A lot of negative feedback on it, so by the time I heard about it and was looking into it, it was pretty much getting roasted by all the reviewers. So this is Wargames 2.0, the second effort coming in, and I am playing today in the Tier 3 Bristol 133, the British fighter. So just going to get stuck into this guy right here. That's because pretty much that's what we do in fighters. So receiving a bit of an aircraft fire from the ground there, but I'll go into all that in a moment. So, okay. So as you can see, the basic functions, you've got stall on the left-hand side there, you've got speed. You do have the option of boosting for a period of time before your engine overheats. Ooh, pay attention, enemy on the tail. And there are a series of different aircraft in the game. So you have fighters, you have multi-role fighters, heavy aircraft, which are sort of bomber fighter role, and then you straight out bombers. And this today is a tier 3 and 4 game, so I'm not sure how well we're going to be doing in terms of points, but we'll hopefully do enough just to give you a good idea of how it's playing. So very maneuverable, as you can see here, guys. I'm all over the HE51. Even though I am receiving fire from the ground. Oh, okay, in terms of all over. Yeah, bad time to say that, because I didn't do that very well. But let's turn around here. He's only got one hit point left. I just need one round. There we go. Okay, so this aircraft comes with two 303 Vickers machine guns in the nose, synchronized with the propeller. And as an upgrade later on, it comes with two more that are set in the wing. Where is this guy firing? Oh, okay, I'm going to get some... Oh, probably not, actually. Yeah, bad idea. Alright, so as you can see, the fighters are very much limited to... Boy, that ground is really starting to annoy me. So the fighters are limited to their altitude. They don't get much higher than 1,000 meters off the ground, because the engines... okay, there we go. And destroyed by AA guns. Now that, I have to say, is probably the most brutal set of AA guns I've seen so far playing this game. They didn't do anything but fire at me. But having said that, that's what happens. That's what you got to do when you're playing World of Planes. You need to be aware of what's around you, what's above you, and definitely what's below you. Okay, so while we've got the opportunity here, you see there is option to respawn into the battle. Bad weather will appear as the game progresses, and it will then prevent any more respawns for you both teams. But for early on in the game, if you are shot down, you have the opportunity to come straight back in and have another go. So I'm just going to boost across here and have another go at this sector here. If you have a look across the top, you can see very similar to tanks and warships, there are control zones. In this, you just need to basically kill all the fighters that are in it and all the other enemy aircraft. Ooh, he's gone. Okay, where else am I? And then the point becomes yours after a period of time. And the more points you have, the faster that little bar across the top that is in your colour. So for the friendly team, it will be blue. Faster that goes up, and then the game's over. So a lot of times, and I'm definitely guilty of it myself, as we come in behind here. Alright, so I'm just going to turn, because he's a lot slower than me. I will go straight past him every time. So I'll just turn it around. There we go. And we're back. And let's get this kill. Alright. Okay, so as I was saying, what was I saying? Okay, so we capture the points and the game, but a lot of times people will get tunnel visioned into shooting the aircraft. I suppose if you're in a fighter and that's your primary role, then yeah, that's what you're going to do. But you do need to be aware that the game can quite easily be won by the enemy team if they just spend their time capping the points rather than shooting down all the other players. So it looks like we are beginning the cap now. I'm going to get rid of this air defense guy. So there is an element of AI in it. The anti-air from the ground is game controlled. They're all bots, and the aircraft defense that you'll see are also AI controlled. Whoop! Oh, you muppet. If he was friendly, I'm not overly impressed with you. And that's also the other issue, guys. You'll find if you're playing this, everyone is going left and right, up and down. You're gonna bump into somebody else on your team who's shooting the same target. It's just gonna happen. Yeah, don't rage about it. Just hope that it happens early in the game and you get the opportunity to respawn. Okay, and as you can see here, guys, my guns have a range of about 420 meters, give or take. And you'll see how the aircraft that are closer to me will go all red. The numbers on the left-hand side there above their health bar will be all red. That just designates that they are, in fact, inside my gun range. And yeah, I can start hammering away on them. So, whoop, ending on my tail. Not good, not good. And yeah, and then we go. So, oh dear, that's 2 deaths now. Hopefully we get back in the game. Yeah, so like I said earlier, we're playing in Tier 4 and Tier 3 battle. As far as I've seen so far, there isn't any 2-up or 2-down game. So if you're on a Tier 3, you're only ever going to see a Tier 4. You're not going to see a Tier 5 plane. As you know, in this, there is definitely a big difference between the tiers. The Tier 1, everyone's the same. It's like everything else. You're just basically flying around in big circles, shooting whatever you can shoot. Tier 2 is about the same. You do get to prey on a few newbie Tier 1s, but certainly the dynamics, the gunpowder, the firepower, sorry, and the engines are much improved. And then again, the Tier 3, so the Bristol compared to the Tier 2 British fighter, they're just, you know, it would be an absolute whitewash if I was to play against one of those. Alright, here we go, and we're back. But I do have to say that coming from World of Tanks, any form of improved matchmaking is, you know, amazing. And yeah, I definitely haven't had any reasons to complain so far. Alright, let's get rid of this guy. There we go, assistance. Okay, so not quite my kill, but got a few points off it. So as you heard just then, the score line. So that is the incoming weather. That basically means that once that storm hits in the next 30 seconds, you are not going to be able to come back into this game if you're shot down. So once you see that, that's it. Just make sure you're looking after your plane as best you can. Okay, let's see if we can get this guy out before he climbs too high. And almost, there we go. Alright, so come under fire again from the ground. God. Whoa, that's brutal. Okay, let me just, maybe it gets worse the higher the tiers you go. That might explain it. Ooh, who's on my tail? You are. Hopefully you're a tier 3 as well, so I can outturn you. Alright, no, he's just defense aircraft. It doesn't matter. Alright, and here's our next target. So I haven't really been paying much attention to the scores, guys, as I mentioned in the start of the video that you probably should be doing, but I'm just having way too much fun flying around and firing these machine guns on the bad guys. It's just awesome. And I don't... Oh no, that's not good. Pilot is injured and we are out. Destroyed by an air defense aircraft. How embarrassing. Oh dear. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's my game over, unfortunately. But had a lot of fun doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it here, and then we'll jump into the score screen, and we'll see what kind of experience, what kind of medals and such that you get. We're back in a minute. Alrighty, and we are back in the garage. So the summary, we just lost there. So it was pretty much neck and neck for the entire game. We did catch up on the points, but they just had a few too many, unfortunately. So for this one, we ended up with a grade 4 fighter. Yeah, it wasn't not my best game. Certainly not one that I am overly happy with, but you know, I did alright. You know, you see the scores are, I'm up there with the tier 4s certainly, except for old matey here, but the rest of the tier 4s, you can see there's a huge difference between what they can do and what some of the tier 3s can achieve, but I'm reasonably happy with that. He was obviously the star on our team, and there's some really good scores on this team as well. So, yeah, that is the game. Ends up being a defeat, and got a few of these badges here. So awarded for efficiency, completing aircraft type specific mission, air battle for sectors. Yeah, these are, you'll figure out what these are as you play, guys. Certainly recommend you do so, and it is definitely a lot of fun. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked the video, I highly recommend you give this game a try, and if you've never played a wargaming game before, then this is a great place to start for you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm the Nerdy Beard. Take it easy.